All right, folks, so we are about to be just wonderfully just blessed with the presence again of Gary Taubes, who's going to teach us why exercise only makes us hungry, and we can't lose weight with exercise because, well, yeah, it just makes you hungry, and we can't show a correlation between exercise and weight loss. So let's take a little let's do a little analysis of that and see what we come up with. So here we go.
That it's not. I'm just pointing out that one thing we've never been able to demonstrate is that you can lose weight exercising. And the answer has always been fairly obvious. If you asked somebody 50 years ago what the result was of going for a long hike or a run or playing 18 holes of golf or a couple of sets of tennis, they would have said you work up an appetite.
Right.
That's what...
Okay, so yeah, exercise, you just you work up an appetite, because, you know, that's such a deeply scientific statement there. It can't just be that people just said that expression, and it doesn't necessarily represent what happens when a person does moderate exercise. And let's also check this out.
I worked out about 2 hours.
Same interview.
So what about all the exercise that Poppy did?
Well, exercise is essential to losing weight, just simply because weight is an energy equation. At the end of the day, Joy, the reason you're not losing weight on a low-carb diet is because you're probably eating too many calories. And protein can be converted to fat.
But Gary says that exercise makes you hungry, and so you eat more.
Actually, I found that to be untrue in most cases. Exercise releases a series of different hormones, not just insulin.
Do you remember the concept of working up an appetite? Is that
Wait, Gary, if you can show me, one person that you've taken 100 pounds off,
that's right,
then maybe we can apply your theory. But
I'm not a diet doctor here.
He's not a diet doctor.
Sure, he always gets out of it.
If you look at
he's not a diet doctor.
When people do clinical trials, because again, she changed a lot of things. That's what we know. That's what she's told us. She's changed her diet. She changed the way she ate. She exercised. All those things might have had an effect. But the question is, if you actually do a clinical trial where you randomize people to exercise versus, you know, a sedentary lifestyle, you find that you can't show an effect from exercise.
Wait a second. First of all, exercise actually releases serotonin and endorphins, which have been shown to decrease appetite. They release hormones like your thyroid hormone goes up, your estradiol goes up, your testosterone goes up, your HGH goes up.
That's right.
These hormones, not just insulin, are integral into controlling metabolism, body fat, and muscle mass. You are a scientist. You appreciate the fact that science must be applied for a theory to be proven true. Your theory falls short when applied practically because I've applied it.
Okay,
and
she disagrees completely with
Okay, so we could go on with this one, but that proves... Okay, this is in the direction of proving my point, okay? And I'm not a big fan of Jillian Michaels. I'm not a huge fan of hers. I'm not against her either, but it's not like I'm, you know, one of her little cheerleaders. And I'm not necessarily endorsing that what they do in Biggest Loser, which is essentially working out 5-6 hours a day behind the scenes to drop a bunch of weight, is what everyone's going to do. But, nevertheless, this has proven right here that exercise, okay, does essentially help one to lose weight, and we're about to see whether or not this is true. So Gary Taubes, it's right, exercise, and it's not necessarily going to make you lose the weight. There's no evidence that exercise has ever made anyone become leaner, right? So let's see what some of the Biggest Loser, the contestants, we're going to sit through an illusion right now, because it seems like these people have lost weight, but it must just be an illusion. Let's see what we got here. Okay, because we know Gary Taubes is always right. Starting 264, ended one, here is another one, from 389 to 230. But that didn't happen with exercise. No. And calories in versus calories out. 372, 230. But that's not real. It's not real, folks. It's all an illusion. The 91 pounds. Didn't happen. Not real. Okay? Debunk after debunk after debunking.
Touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you.
Okay, so do I need to go further? Let me go a little further, because I'm a moron, of course.
Good times never seem so good.
Last one. Okay, so as you can see, from applying the very basic principles of exercise and calorie reduction, okay, which is not the best way, by the way. It's instead of just standard calorie reduction, of course there's more optimal diets. So that's not even necessarily what I'm going for as the optimal solution. But we have debunked the idea that exercise cannot prove to produce weight loss, and that the whole calories in versus calories out is an outdated idea, and the law of thermodynamics is just an outdated idea, and that if you study matters much more deeply, like Sir Gary Taubes has, you'll come to the bottom of it, and it's not really law of thermodynamics. And none of this just happened in The Big Loser, folks. All of you, we just went through a hallucination together, and you didn't see about 6 people drop a tremendous amount of weight through exercise and calorie reduction. Okay, so, and also I like that Jillian Michaels did address this nonsense also about that it doesn't make you hungrier, because you're releasing certain hormones and endorphins that actually suppress appetite. That is the truth. So what, people, you say, well, we're going to go work up an appetite by playing golf. I mean, that's just an expression, and if you put that in people's mind, they're sort of going to, you know, feel that way because the suggestion has been put into their heads. But the reality is that through exercise, it helps suppress appetite, plain and simple. And if I really had the energy, we could go through obesity experts that have probably done random trials, but it's not even necessary because we've seen enough evidence of it here. Okay, so I hope this has been informative. It's just why am I doing these videos and doing videos like this? Because I'm not selling you anything. Nothing I get out of this financially or anything like that. I want to help people just break out of the diet confusion hell that exists out there, because people are out there telling you can't exercise, and it's not even exercising isn't really what you think. It's not going to get you the benefits you think. It just makes you hungrier, blah blah blah. I'm trying to help folks just get in tune again with what works. Okay, carbs do not make you fat. Exercise does help. Good luck, everyone.